value silence a lot in my life. Where I live, I'm always driving. And when I drive is when I have nothing going on. I don't ever turn on the radio. I don't listen to people's music. I don't listen to my own music in the car. I actually just drive in complete silence, and I love it. I mean, I need silence. Too much silence hurts because it's, I hear ringing in my ears from playing so many years with speakers. But silence in general I appreciate. I mean, just having nothing on, maybe just a little bit of ambient noise from the wind or, from the appliances in the room buzzing. I mean, stuff like that I need that noise. But total silence would drive me crazy. But no music I need sometimes. I need a break away from everything so that I appreciate it when I come back to it. I mean, I'm sure that everything you do and your surroundings and everywhere you go influences you unconsciously. I mean, it's why I even choose to stay living in Minneapolis versus coming to Europe, because I'm influenced by my surroundings. So I'm sure my travel, my experiences, where I play, all those things have in some ways shaped what I'm doing now in terms of how I think about music, from production to what I DJ. I mean, what's interesting is I've seen so much from doing this for the last 20 years that what I think reminds me, or I don't know if anything has yet shocked me to the point where it's changed my perspective, but a lot of things have reminded me about my vision versus other people's, because especially like coming to a party when there's an opener before you who doesn't know how to be an opener, it reminds me of the fact that you have to be a versatile person, you have to be a versatile DJ. To me, I respect the people who know their place in the night and what they're supposed to do. And so really it's more that it reminds me of my perspective being, I think, appropriate and correct in terms of, how the night should progress, how it should be at the beginning and how it should be at the end. I mean, I said this at the beginning when I was first interviewed and started touring 4 or 5 years ago, that I was playing this music before it was popular, before it was the hype, before it was in the spotlight. And now this music has come full circle and it's in the spotlight again. I mean, techno, to me, the kind of techno I like was popular when I found it in the 90s. And then it went underground as commercial music took over. And now it's becoming, again, more popular. But when the popularity goes away and the limelight disappears, I'll still be playing this music. So to me, the popularity, I just have to not pay attention to it. The good thing about this popularity is that it's opened the door for a lot of things. Like in the US, the word house and techno is no longer a bad thing because big money and big business is buying into this music. On the bad side of it, they're also squeezing it of any culture and of any art. But because of where I come from, I always believe that the underground will always survive. I mean, it always does. As everything changes and goes away, we stay doing what we do. And it's part of even why I'm going to take less gigs next year, because I want to find a balance in what I do so that it survives no matter the hype, no matter where we are this year or 5 years from now. I wouldn't be so extreme to say I'm going to spend more and less time. It's that I decided to try to focus a little bit more, because living on the road is really difficult to get a lot of things done. It's difficult to focus. You never know, your life is kind of unstable as you travel. So I decided for next year to try to, the last 4.5, 5 years I've pushed really hard to get my name out, to develop a following for what I do. And now I feel like I've finally maybe gained that following, and now I think it's time for me to focus more on being in the studio, more on spending time digging for music in my collection, and just find some more time to have for myself again, because I think what makes me interesting when I go out is the time I spend alone developing who I am. I mean, everything has changed in our city. I went from throwing bigger parties in the 90s to having to downsize to a smaller scene because people grew up, they left. There was no longer a scene for young people to grow up in this community and learn about it. So our parties changed, our focus changed, who we were trying to get changed. Then I opened up a club. It was a good idea. It was maybe 10 years too late, in the sense of our generation that I was trying to go after was already gone. And now, even though I'm traveling, I still hold on to a space there, and I do an underground party that I've been doing for 4.5 years in basically an underground kind of illegal club. And it, to me, I mean, I had a long talk with actually Speedy J about this a long time ago, about how it's important to keep your community at home thriving, and we are the people who can keep that going, because we're traveling and we're seeing things and we're bringing something back. And it's almost like, you know, we're the explorers. We're going out, we're finding the jewels, we're finding the gold, and then we're bringing it home, and we're showing everyone what we found, and we're sharing it with everyone. So I think it's important that I keep pushing this music at home, even though I'm on the road, even though I'm traveling. Like you said, outside of the culture that I live in, I mean, I think the biggest challenge has just been to survive in this music long enough and give enough to it that now it's truly giving back to me, and I can do this full time now. I mean, all those years, I always had a job outside of music. I always found something else to do outside of playing records or throwing parties or, you know, promoting this music, because I needed to survive. I needed to pay my bills. And it was always a struggle, but it was a sacrifice. And I think if you give to something this much and this seriously for this many years, it's going to give back to you at some point. And now it's giving back to me, and now I have the opportunities that I have to travel and play this music outside of my own home. I mean, I'd say personal life would probably be my biggest challenge. Just trying to sustain any type of personal life is my biggest challenge now. I mean, I'm trying to decide if I give you guys this personal info. I mean, okay, so personal life is definitely the biggest struggle. I mean, it's relationships. You know, I went from being in a very long relationship to being married to even now struggling within my own personal marriage, you know, and I feel that this music is what I'm supposed to be doing, but I'm also supposed to have a life as well. So it's a struggle between the two to figure out where your balance is and what really makes you happy and what, you know, what keeps you going and what motivates you in the mornings. And music is what motivates me. So I mean, sometimes it takes precedence over the challenges, and it takes precedence over the personal life choices that I may lose or struggle with. I hope I find the balance for my personal life and my music life. That's my only goal actually for next year. I don't know if I have an expectation. As long as my good gigs are always greater than my bad gigs, then I'll keep doing this. So I hope my good gigs stay better. Yes, my name is.